What's going on, guys? Welcome into Sensei and the Pupil. I'm Cray and I got Dev and Paul with me.
Hi.
Hey, guys.
We are reviewing one of the most anticipated manhwas to get animated in the last 10 years.
What's a manhwa?
It's a Korean manga.
Oh.
Yeah. Everybody knows by now. You should know, and if you don't, get educated. This is called Solo Leveling, and it's probably one of the hottest commodities in anime right now in terms of hype. Hype-wise.
I have heard, I've heard a lot of hype about this.
And we're going to get hyped right into it. Guys, let's go! Yeah, Solo Leveling. Solo Leveling. What do you guys know about it before we even really get, before we watched it?
So, basically, my knowledge of it was when we were doing the Anime Award show. I was looking into animes that are going to be coming out next year that are, people are looking forward to.
Mm-hmm. We're not on the list.
And I could, this one I kept seeing over and over again is like #1 spot on multiple anime sites. So I was like, man, this one there has to be something behind this one.
Yeah,
because,
I've heard the same thing.
Because like 2 through 5 they had in different orders, but #1 was always Solo Leveling. So I was like, okay.
I used to read manhwas back in maybe 4 or 5 years ago. There was a couple of that were really good, and like Solo Leveling was like the one I was right up below.
Lookism?
Which I chose.
Lookism?
Yeah, Lucas's up there too. Fuck Lucasm. But Solo Leveling was like right below the one I always chose. It was like a gaming manhwa thing, but it's kind of similar to Solo Leveling. But it's been around for a minute.
I think I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I know you do.
I heard a lot about it as well. Really, what I heard about was just the gore, like how much a lot of people were talking about, oh, this is not like don't get attached to somebody because they might die. I'm like, huh, okay, like what? The Walking Dead, Game of Thrones kind of thing? Like, what do you mean?
That kind of reminds me like the beginning of Attack on Titan.
There's a lot of comparisons to that.
So
cool, good, badass. Yeah. I mean, the premise is kind of a used one. I mean, we got this alternate dimension coming to our dimension, and there's like monsters that come out in dungeons. Right. But we have to. I'm sorry?
No, yeah, the gates.
The gates, they're called magical beasts, and they have to kill them and close these gates before, 7 days?
Yeah.
Or else the gate will open, and then the monsters will pour in and just become a much more difficult mess to handle.
Right.
Yeah. And our main guy, Jing Woo, is, Class E. Class E.
Hunter.
One of the weakest
the
hunters.
lowest
levels.
Right.
And the skill system is based like this. There are hunters in the world that can have awakened power.
Right.
The problem is, once your power awakens, you can't alter it. You
can't get any stronger.
You can't get stronger. You can't train with it. That's just your power.
Right.
Or so we think.
So we think. So everybody just kind of has a set power, and Jing Woo is the weakest. He's just the weakest fire, I think, but it's just super weak.
Right. I think good context in this world is modern day world.
Yes.
There's guns, there's tanks.
Right.
But these monsters, these creatures in these gates cannot be killed with just regular weapons. The hunters are the only ones that can kill these monsters, and I think that's important.
Right. And you have to use like magical, I guess, energy to kill it or something, whatever it takes.
Right.
Yes, that is important. And we see Jing Woo go into a cave for the first 2 episodes. And what happens in that cave, Dev?
They basically clear the whole cave.
Low level cave.
Yeah, it's just a regular low level cave. He's in there with some mid hunters,
And a baddie.
The Class B healer.
Juhi. Yeah.
So they go in there and they clear this cave.
Stupid names.
And once the cave is cleared, they end up finding an extra big door in there.
Another cave.
Right.
So they basically take a vote on all of them to whether to go back to the entrance and just forget about the door, or to go through the door and just kind of see maybe there's some more stuff that they can plunder in there.
Right.
So okay, so they all vote. It comes down to Jinwoo, right? That's his name.
Jingwoo.
Jingwoo. It comes down to his vote, and he votes to go in there. He's got some family that he's trying to provide for.
Yeah, he really shouldn't be going in there, but he needs the money.
Yeah, the weakest person is like, yeah, let's do it.
He's the final vote.
So they go into this dungeon. I wouldn't even call it a cave. I wouldn't even call it a cave anymore.
It's not a throne room.
and basically, more or less, everybody gets slaughtered.
Okay, no, you can't. You can't do that.
What?
You can't do that, bro.
Well,
No, you can't do that. They don't get slaughtered.
I mean, some of them get slaughtered, dude.
A few of them do.
And the way that it happens, dude, it was gruesome.
Yeah, it was pretty.
If you have an anime girl that screams after someone dies, you know it's pretty bad.
Which death in there was the coolest for you guys?
That's a good question to ask because there was a lot of badass little deaths how they happened.
The guy got sliced in half, or maybe sliced in half this way.
No, I actually
or
like
the guy that was
beam,
running.
like the beam that just disintegrated.
I was gonna say the beam. That beam was cool.
Was sick.
Beam was cool.
But which death was that? Which death was it?
I don't even know. Like, it was a no-name character.
Well, yeah, it was right whenever they were in there, and then he goes, "Everybody duck!"
Yeah,
and then the beam just shot and killed some random people.
Yeah, and also cut off the arm of the leader.
Yeah,
like, that beam like caught him.
Yeah, so mine was a beam too, but mine was like whenever the guy who had the super speed. He was like, I can outrun this. I'm about to be in this one guild that's badass, and I can outrun it. He starts running towards the door super fast, dude. They make it even seem like
he might make it.
Yeah, dude. Like he's got like this wind. He's got like this wind behind him and everything, and like you can feel his power,
his thighs
dude.
Get like all muscular.
That was funny.
You can feel his power, and then next thing you know, you just see the quick beam just, and then all you see are basically half of his shins down to his feet. That's all that was left. I was like, damn.
It was funny.
That was funny as fuck. And we also see the statue smiling very gruesomely and very menacingly.
Titan-esque, my opinion.
Yeah, that statue, I've seen that statue. When you see Solo Leveling, you look it up, it's either Jingwoo or it's the statue's face smiling. And I never knew what that was. And now I know it's just a menacing statue that's going to give him ultimate power. Looks like. But before we get to that point, what else happened in that room?
Well, Jingwoo actually uses his intellect, because he survived so much from near-death experiences that he's become more survivalist.
I feel like that's his power.
Yes, he survived.
Low key,
that's part of his power.
Survivor,
low key, he's a Shikamaru strategist type of low key. He's still scared though, which is funny.
I mean, but he kind of solves that in this second episode because he becomes really brave. Like, dude, I would have never.
What does he do in this awakening of his little awakening?
Well, because everybody's dying around him. They don't know what to do. He has a quick thinking kind of thing, and he realizes, hey, the rules are right there in front of us.
The commandments.
Commandments
I can't believe nobody else thought that shit. I fucking hate anime sometimes because they're so stupid on purpose.
Right, yeah.
It's just there's moments that are just so fucking stupid.
How do we survive this?
I don't know, dude. When you're faced with when you're in that position of death, I could see somebody kind of being like.
And there's someone screaming, a girl screaming right beside you. She's losing her mind. You're like, what do we do? Yeah, but we've
watched this stuff so much. If I ever get in the situation, there's no way I'm ever just screaming. I don't know.
Maybe you might try to make a run for it. And
Look at my thighs! I can do this. All right, what was it, Paul?
But yeah, he reads out the 10 Commandments and goes in order. We gotta praise. We gotta
kneel your head
first,
and
then praise it. The praise thing was kind of bullshit in a way. It's how do you know?
Right, you should stand in front
what does
of
praise mean?
Yeah,
even that first guy's I'm gonna pray to you, and he gets squished on the foot.
I like that.
Yeah, that was pretty sick. And then all of a sudden, Jingu realizes, hey, there's statues that don't have weapons; they have instruments. Maybe that means praise.
You stand in front of them, and then they play their instruments, and then they calm the giant guy down.
Not before Jingu gets fucking wrecked. Yeah. Before he gets there, he gets his foot.
Who else thought he got crushed?
I did for a second.
I thought I got half his body. I thought because then they show him kind of crawling. Yeah. And I'm like, oh dude, he's done. I don't know how he's gonna make it.
Only the foot. No.
For that much blood, dude.
Yeah, no, that's bullshit. Yeah.
Dude, they're definitely. He should have been cut in half.
He had a little snail trail, freaking red.
And it kind of made me angry about Juhei.
The girl.
Yeah, because you notice that she crumbles under pressure every time.
So before you get to that, what happens to get to that point?
Well, after they get done praising...
What's the third one?
Yeah, after they get done praising this god deity statue, it sits back down.
Sacrifice.
And all of a sudden, the sacrificial altar comes up, and they realize there's the third thing they have to do is prove your what is
I don't know if it was a lead. It was like prove your. I don't know. It was let's just say sacrificial part.
Yeah, pretty much. So
atone or some shit.
They all had to go into the middle of the altar, and he finds that out by looking at the flames from the first person going in there, the leader, because they all pretty much threaten him. Hey, this is your fault, even though they all voted. Which is stupid. Yeah. So they all voted. He went in there first because he's a leader. I give him props to that. He just said fuck it. He didn't run away. And they realized, hey, the flames are key here. Every flame pops up every time someone gets in the middle, and then when they all do, a timer flame goes up with blue flames, And then I thought it was kind of weird how these statues started moving and they stopped. Like what's that one game called? Red light, green light.
Yeah, red light, green light.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of weird,
So
but that's pretty much how it is.
Yeah,
that was how you get out.
You look at the statues, they stop. You don't look at them, they walk towards you.
Yeah.
Last of the timer. But the cool part was they opened the door and made people think you can escape, and you could escape.
Yeah.
As far as we know, they're out free right now.
The doors never closed completely.
Yeah, those doors were open,
yeah.
So that way people would start to leave and leave one person left.
He has to look around.
Yeah, and it gets to the point where only him, Jingwoo, Juhee, and
the leader,
Mr. Song.
Yeah, Song.
So basically, they couldn't stop the statues from coming in, so they just made a collective.
Yes.
It was a collective agreement to, hey, leave me here. You take the you leader and healer. You guys go and you live your lives.
Yes.
Because somehow, like when you heal too much, you can't move anymore.
Yes.
I don't know. I guess that's canon now.
Well, she used all of her energy, so she's weak now. I get that. But here's the thing that's really important. There were like 3 other people in that circle with them.
Right.
And those 3 guys all bailed and left them, just left them there to die. And one by one, he said there, no, don't leave. Like he's getting frustrated because he's like, if we do this together, we can all live.
Right.
And they just kept leaving him on his own. And then even the last 2 that he let go, he was still in the end like to himself like, man, I'm always here by myself in the end.
Yeah.
I'm always alone. And he's having this monologue.
It was a very human moment.
As he's getting killed by these statues, he's having this monologue. It was very human, yes. I will give
No,
it that.
I don't want to die. You know.
Yeah, he's like, I don't want to die, but he's also like, this is not fair.
I have a family too.
Yeah, like everyone's for themselves. I'm always trying to help, and everyone's for themselves. I can't do anything I know, but all this stuff. And right before he dies, right that last.
Well, he has that very quick character change where he's like, you know what, screw this. I'm gonna take you guys with me. I'm tired of this. I'm just gonna if I die here, I'm gonna do the best I can and survive as long as I can.
He tried to live. He tried to live
dude.
with one arm and one leg.
And I have a gripe with that because that very human moment, that much blood loss, he should have been dead.
Okay, all right. Well, he was about to die, and the flame went out.
Yeah.
And he had 0.02 seconds of life left.
Yes,
right.
He was about to die.
And somehow the game paused.
Well, the timer went out.
Shut up.
I'm just saying.
I mean, do you want an anime or do you not?
Yeah, do you not
one?
I just want to know what kind of is it isekai? Like, what is this? You know?
And
we'll come to figure that out once.
And we see this big prompt come up that says, "Congratulations, you now have the option to be a player."
It's a quest prompt.
A quest prompt popped up. So everything in this whole world now gets flipped on our heads because we thought it was just monsters coming in isekai.
Right.
Turns out it's a game. Turns out we're watching Darwin's Game right now, guys. You know what I'm saying?
A little Shangri-La action.
Shangri-La going on. This is a video game we're in.
He's getting a special quest.
Yeah.
He's the main character, guys. But what that also tells me, too, is that every other person in the world are NPCs.
Ooh.
Because they get the one power and it never levels up or anything. There's NPCs. And they don't even know that they're NPCs.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Like such is life, right?
Yeah. Kind of. I mean, if you're the main character,
and yes, Evan. And I'm sure there's other players too in the world. I'm sure there's a few other players and only everybody's NPCs. And that's what I'm hyped for. This got me so hyped now. I'm really invested now.
Yeah.
I wasn't at first, but that ending scene in his transformation kind of in his head, I'm there. You guys?
I did. I liked I liked how he kind of came to terms with how human everybody is. Like selfish in a way, because he even brought out that one guy who said, I can't be here. I just saw one guy with a family lose his life, and I have my own family. It's like, dude, everybody has a family.
Yep.
Everybody wants to live. Everybody wants to survive. Nobody wants to die. And I like that. I really resonated with that. I was like, dude, yeah, fuck these people. Like, fuck all these other hunters. But that's why he's the main character. He made that sacrifice.
Facts.
What I will say is my little closing statement is I like the world that they set up.
Mm-hmm.
Very gruesome. Just a lot of it's just so gruesome.
Yeah.
And the main character, he seemed
You're sick,
dude.
You're sick.
You don't see a lot of like.
I just hate you paused. You didn't know what to say. Like gruesome.
No, I mean
see death.
Well, I love death.
Consequences,
You know?
I want consequences.
No, I mean I just like the world that they had ended up having to go into the dungeons and into the caves.
There was no power of friendship.
And kind of
yeah, there was
definitely not.
Yeah,
I'm invested.
So yeah, I just think it's gonna end up being really cool.
Yeah,
I like animes that start off like pretty like kind of dark. So one of my favorite animes, Goblin Slayer.
Yeah, that is one of his favorites.
And also, Redo Healer is also one of his favorites.
There's a scene in there.
Yeah, these Claymen come out. Guys, we hope you enjoy our review of Solo Leveling. We are going to be reviewing weekly Solo Leveling. And don't forget, guys, it's called Solo Leveling.
Yeah.
So I guess that transformation is a big deal, because now he's going to only level up by himself.
Right.
Right?
Level up.
Well, nobody else can level up. But
exactly.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Level up,
Okay.
Yeah.
Guys, this is the Pupil. We're out of here.